Good evening. Good evening. If we can have everyone please make your way to your seats. The show is about to begin. And as you get settled, let's all welcome Orange Appeal to the stage.
Stop your crying, it will be all right. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry, 'cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart, no matter what they say. You'll be here in my heart, always. Why can't they understand the way we feel? They just don't trust what they can't explain. I know we're different, 'cause deep inside us, we're not that different at all. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. Don't listen to them, 'cause what do they know? We need each other to have to hold. They'll see in time, I know. When destiny calls you, you must be strong. I may not be with you, but you've got to hold on. They'll see in time, I know. We'll show them together that you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart, no matter what they say. You'll be here in my heart always. 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 every night. And when that moon gets so big and bright, it's supernatural delight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't fight. They keep things loose, they keep things light. Everybody is dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. We like our fun and we never fight. You can't dance and stay uptight. It's supernatural delight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Let me go. Another summer day has come and gone away. In Paris or Rome, and I wanna go. Maybe surrounded by a million people, I still feel all alone. Just wanna go home. And I miss you, you know. I've been keeping all the letters that I wrote to you. Each one a line or two. I'm fine, baby, how are you? And I would send them, but I know that it's just not enough. My words were cold and flat, and you deserve more than that. Another airplane, another sunny place. I'm lucky, I know, but I wanna go home. Oh, I wanna go home. Let me go home. I'm just too far from where you are. I wanna go home. Another summer day has come and gone away. 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 Another summer day, another summer. Hold on to me as we go. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna miss letting go. And I feel just like I'm living someone else's life. It's like I just stepped outside when everything was going right. And I know just why you could not come along with me. That this was not your dream, but you always believed in me. Another summer day has come and gone away. In Paris and Rome, and I wanna go. Oh, I gotta go. Let me go. I'm just too far from where you are. I wanna go home. I'm just too far from where you are. I wanna come home.
I have this moment like coming to America where I want to call them out again. Some people will get that. Good evening, and let me offer a warm welcome to our Syracuse University Alumni Award celebration, the highlight of Arents Central, Homecoming, and Reunion Weekend. To start our program this evening, I would like to acknowledge with respect the Onondaga Nation, firekeepers of the Haudenosaunee, the indigenous people on whose ancestral land Syracuse University now stands. I'm Don McPherson, proud member of the class of 1987, and it is my sincere honor to be this evening's Master of Ceremony. It is my privilege to host this evening in this tremendous, this tremendous new space. I mean, look at this. The Daniel and Gail Daniello Building, home to the National Veterans Resource Center. Thank you to Vice Chancellor Mike Haney for having us this evening, and I have to say it again, I walked through this building yesterday just to get a feel for it, and it was just the history of this institution, the history of our support for veterans just jumps out you and grabs you, and it's something to make us all very proud. Thank you very much for the work you've done. I'd also like to say, because conspicuously sitting behind me is our student body president, David Bruin, who I also want to introduce to everyone this evening. Yes. Tonight we celebrate what it means to be orange and come together at last, in person. That's right, give it up. In person, to honor so many deserving alumni. To the Syracuse University trustees who are spending the evening with us, thank you. Your leadership is most appreciated and very much valued. I also want to thank the awards committee of the Syracuse University Alumni Association Board for selecting tonight's honorees. Instead of hosting this award ceremony virtually in 2020, we chose to wait to ensure these honorees properly receive the recognition we are proud to bestow upon them this evening. Many of our past award recipients are seated among you this evening, and just want to make a note for all of the Arents, Eggers, Generation Orange, and Outstanding Alumni honorees. Please give a warm round of applause for those returning honorees this evening. I also want to give a special welcome to all of our reunion classes in particular, and then we have a bunch now because we've had to wait a year. Members of the classes of 1971 and 1961 who are celebrating, get this, their 50th and 60th years respectively. A huge thank you, yes, give it up for our... A huge thank you goes to the reunion committee for those two classes and the classes of 1996, 1986, and Generation Orange. A special welcome to our 2020 reunion classes of 1960, 1970, 1985, and 1995, who have waited so long to come together and celebrate in person. How about a round of applause? Let us also recognize the Syracuse University Alumni Association board members, alumni club members, and young alumni who make up the Generation Orange Council for being here this evening, and thank you for being tremendous Orange ambassadors. And finally, I'd like to extend a special welcome to all of our current students in the room tonight, including our student body president, David Bruin, who has joined us on stage this evening when we help present the awards. It is now my tremendous honor to introduce a man who I have gotten to know over the years, who has led us through some tremendous times here at Syracuse University, and I think he deserves from us a special loud round of applause for our 12th Chancellor and President, Ken Severud.
Thank you, Don, and welcome everybody. Welcome back to what our current students have made a exuberant, optimistic, over-the-top orange in-person semester at Syracuse University. I thank all of our current students, including Orange Appeal. For those of you who aren't getting enough of coming back in-person experiences from the extraordinary events that have been organized by this wonderful alumni engagement staff in this weekend, our students want you to know that Marshall Street is directly behind me and that it is Halloween weekend. I think you will find on the campus a lot of people who've come through a lot, but Orange has helped them pull together in amazing ways, and I'm so grateful and I'm so proud of all of them. Tonight we're celebrating a fairly extraordinary group of Alumni Award recipients who have all given in different ways extraordinary gifts to Syracuse University through engagement, through leadership, through philanthropy, and through making us proud to be associated with them as Syracuse people. They represent every generation of the Orange Nation. We bring them together tonight to recognize their really extraordinary contributions to Syracuse University, to their professions, and to the world. We have Generation Orange recipients who provide tremendous examples of leaders who have graduated in the last 10 years. And this award recognizes young alumni who have made an impact on campus and in their communities. And we're recognizing Katie Hoole, Nicole Osborne, Ivan Robles, and Leo Wong as leaders of their profession, their communities, and leaders among young Orange alumni. The Military Veteran Alumni Award is presented annually now. The recipients are Syracuse alumni who have distinguished themselves both through exceptionally meritorious service and achievement while serving in the United States military and in post-service careers in private, government, business, or philanthropic sectors. Our honoree tonight, Colonel Eileen Collins, doesn't meet this standard. She blows it away, and that is the view of everyone associated with the Orange Nation. She's excelled as a test pilot, an instructor, an astronaut, and as a role model for women and for all of us. We're so proud of her. The Melvin A Award, the Senior Alumni Award, is presented to alumni whose leadership and service to society are linked simultaneously with many years of loyalty and impact at Syracuse. Russell King's leadership in architecture and business has left an indelible legacy in the world and on this campus and in this community, and we celebrate him. And then tonight we also present Syracuse University's highest alumni honor, the George Arents Award. Tonight's recipients of the Arents Award are leaders in business, in philanthropy, in creative endeavors, in diversity and inclusion. This year, the Arents Awards go to Dan Mezzalingua, a tremendous business leader who serves his community and his alma mater as an advisor and philanthropist. Keith Cartwright, who's the founder, president, and chief executive officer, creative officer of Cartwright, and co-founder of the Saturday Morning Creative Collective. María Meléndez, who is the chief diversity officer for the international law firm of Sidley and Austin, and Jim Morris, who is the president of Pixar Animation Studios. Let's have the first of many applause for that group. I know each of us is so proud to be Orange, but we're proudest when we see our fellow Orange alumni do the things that we're celebrating tonight. Each of tonight's recipients is a source of great pride for Syracuse University. Each of you have shown the world what Orange can do and what it means. And so we're so proud of you and we're so grateful. So thank you, and keep going Orange.
Thank you, Chancellor Severud. Pardon me, with the one extra step as a speaker now is to have the mask come on and off, so there's one extra step. And then, because we are here, we are all getting a little bit older. Let's be kind. All right. It is now my pleasure and like to welcome Alumni Association Board President Ryan McNaughton, class of 1996 and Syracuse University Trustee, to join me on the stage. Ryan?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. McPherson. Force of habit, I apologize, sir. It is the honor of a lifetime and extraordinarily humbling to lead the Syracuse University Alumni Association and to be with you all this evening and this weekend as I get to celebrate my 25th reunion since graduating here from SU. You know, I've always said there's nothing that contractually says we must stay engaged with Syracuse University after we receive our degrees. But as your new president, I'm looking to change that. And that goal starts with each one of you in this room, sharing with others why you choose to stay engaged with our alma mater. From this vantage point, I look out. It's an incredible amount of talent, every single one of you, and you are my extended family. There's something extraordinarily special about that, and I believe at my core that it's a feeling that's unique to all of us that bleed orange. You will see many, many examples of alumni who embody what it is to be orange. So I thank you for being here. Please enjoy the evening, enjoy your weekend. Loyal be thy sons and daughters.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you for that great comeback. At this time, I'd like to also invite Jasmine Mangum, President of the Generation Orange Leadership Council and member of the class of 2016, to the stage. Jasmine will announce this evening's Generation Orange Awards.
Thank you, Don, and good evening, everyone. I am elated to be a part of this award ceremony this evening. The Generation Orange Award recognizes graduates of the last decade who we proudly refer to as Generation Orange. We recognize young alumni who have made an impact on campus and in their communities through their volunteer work and philanthropy on behalf of Syracuse University. This year's recipients are truly special. They are my predecessors. They're the founding steering committee of the Generation Orange Leadership Council, and I admire each one of them. Katie Hoole is a member of the class of 2013. She was founding president of the Generation Orange Leadership Council and also a founding member of the Student Philanthropy Council, now called the Forever Orange Student Alumni Council, or FOSAC. Nicole Osborne is class of 2014 and completed her master's degree in 2020. Nicole's motto is "Be the orange you want to see in the world," and I just love that. Ivan Robles graduated in 2015 and was very involved with Orange Seeds, U100, and FOSAC as a student. We're thrilled he's still so connected to Syracuse University despite living in sunny California. and that's Southern California, so I'm very jealous. And finally, Leo Wong, who is a member of the class of 2014 and who was also very involved with Auto Tunes, first-year players, and other groups on campus. I am so deeply grateful for all 4 of these alumni, all of whom still serve on our leadership council. Please join me on stage to accept your award, Katie, Nicole, Ivan, and Leo.
Okay, good evening. I'm going to go off script a little bit and first say I am so honored and humbled and grateful to be recognized along with this group. I could cry, but I'm not going to. Okay. A heartfelt thank you to the SU Alumni Association for this incredible honor, to our advisors and advocates from the Office of Alumni Engagement, Sue, Dave, Grace, a big thankful shout out to Megan, our Queen Mother, and to our loved ones that are celebrating with us today. The Generation Orange Leadership Council was founded in 2016 when the university identified that there wasn't enough natural outlet for highly engaged students to continue to stay involved and give back to the university post-graduation. This group of incredible alums was intentionally selected to represent the diverse range of student experiences that exist on campus. And we are so grateful to have been trusted with that responsibility.
Throughout the last 6 years, our council has been comprised of young alumni representing each of the last 10 years, representing each school and college, an array of student organizations, students of diverse cultural backgrounds, and different geographic regions. The council became an avenue and a platform for young alumni to find meaningful ways for other young alum to give back to their alma mater through their time, talent, and treasure.
A few of our proud accomplishments include being the SU board quickest to achieve 100% participation in the annual fundraising campaign, Boost the Cuse. No big deal, you can give us another round of applause, thank you. But all while increasing young alumni donations. We also had the opportunity to collaborate with a handful of SU offices in addition to alumni clubs to create Welcome to the City guides to welcome young alumni that recently graduated into their new cities as they transition into their careers. And lastly, a proud accomplishment is that we created the Generation Orange Professional, or GoPro series, where we collaborated with young alumni, hosted by young alumni, to share different topics that would advance them as they transition into this new stage of life, including topics like beer and wine etiquette in a corporate setting, and travel hacks for those that are traveling on a young alumni's budget.
So let's face it, we've all had alumni who've helped shape our current student experiences. So as alumni, no matter your age, your location, or your job title, we all have a responsibility to help current students and meet their needs. So we urge you to be the orange that you want to see in the world. Seize opportunities to mentor current students, interview prospective students, show up to career fairs in your city, and just fund programs and funds that you have personally been impacted by on our campus. Together, we can continue lifting the university and making sure that all of our current students and alumni are proud to bleed orange and call Syracuse home. Thank you all again for this wonderful honor, and we are just getting started.
I should have had y'all key up my theme music. Congratulations again to Katie, Nicole, Ivan, and Leo. Be the orange you want to see in the world. Put a pin in that. That is a great tagline for everything that we try to accomplish in the work that I do in trying to help student success before and after graduation. And so I really, really like that. I'm going to steal that if you don't mind. Did y'all hear that? She said she copyrighted it already. All right. Well, I'll go in with you. I'll go in. All right, cool. At this time, this is a tremendous a pleasure and an honor just to be able to introduce Mike Haney, who is now going to, if I bring Mike up, now going to announce this evening's Military Veteran Award. It is an outstanding honor just to be on stage with this individual, and right now I'll bring Mike Haney up to the stage.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. First, let me welcome all of you to the National Veterans Resource Center, which has been made possible in large part by a former Arents Award winner, Daniel Daniello, and his wife, Gail. It is truly wonderful to see this space filled tonight. It has been a long time coming. And we actually look forward to dedicating this building and holding the grand opening of this building just next week. Syracuse University's Military and Veteran Award, which was a new award for 2019, honors a service member or a veteran alum of the university who has distinguished themselves through exceptional meritorious service in the military and then after the military. I can think of few more deserving recipients than tonight's honoree. Chances are good that some of you came here tonight by way of Syracuse's Hancock Airport, and the road that you drove out on bears the name of tonight's recipient. Colonel Eileen Collins, a former astronaut who was the first woman pilot and first woman commander of the space shuttle. Colonel Collins has logged more than 6,700 flying hours, flying 30 different aircraft types, and more than 870 hours in space as a veteran of 4 space flights. She herself is a former Arents Award recipient, an inductee in the National Women's Hall of Fame, and was recognized by Encyclopedia Britannica as one of the top 300 women in history to have changed the world. I feel like I need to pause there. Yeah, you do have to let that sink in for a second. As I said, few more deserving recipients. In honor of her military service, devotion to her country, and to Syracuse University, we are proud to honor Colonel Eileen Collins with the 2021 Syracuse University Military and Veteran Award.
Well, thank you very much. And I want to thank you, Dr. Haney. That was a great introduction. And I also want to thank Chancellor Severud for inviting me here and asking me to be here with you tonight. And of course, I want to thank the Office of Veterans and Military Affairs, as well as the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. And it's important that I congratulate also the other award winners here tonight. You know, we're so proud of you and your accomplishments and the inspiration that you provide to all of us and to the students here at Syracuse. I want to say it's an honor for me to accept this award as a veteran of the United States Armed Services. And I also want to recognize that I have 2 guests here tonight that are also veterans. So there's my husband, Pat Youngs, and my nephew, Kevin Conklin. So they are both Air Force veterans. I met my husband in the Air Force. We were both flying C-141s at Travis. And I want to say my nephew, Kevin, who was part of a Red Horse civil engineering squadron, was also part, I just recently found out, he was part of building this facility here. So congratulations, Kevin. Thank you for doing a great job. So I'm humbled to be a representative of the military veterans associated with Syracuse University. And I commend Syracuse University for the work that you're doing to prepare veterans for the next stage in their lives. So I attended ROTC here from 1976 to 1978. It was a great start to my career, and still to this day, I remember my professors, Colonel Hagan, Major Lithgow, Captain Freed, Captain O'Rourke. I'll never forget them and what they taught me. And also Sergeant Alt, who was the foundation of keeping that Detachment 535 running. So they all made a positive impact on myself and my fellow cadets. And what did I learn here? It just boils down really, there was so much that I learned, but primarily teamwork and leadership was taught in ROTC. And they also taught us the basic mission of the United States Armed Forces: national security, national defense. We never forget why we serve. We serve to protect American citizens so all of us can live safe and live free. My deepest gratitude to all of our soldiers and sailors, our airmen, Marines, our Coast Guard, and now we have the Guardians, which is the Space Force Guardians, and including their spouses and their families, whether they're active duty, reserve, or guard. Our servicemen and women know that they're part of something bigger than themselves. Their education and training and their skills continue on in their communities for years after leaving their respective services, and we can all be proud of their accomplishments. So finally, my gratitude to Syracuse University for all that you do to support and strengthen our country by supporting and strengthening our veterans. Thank you all.
You know, sometimes I get a lot of credit for being a football player. She went to space. That's still, I hear you, that still trips me out. She went to space. Congratulations, Colonel Eileen Collins. What a tremendous honor, and what a tremendous honor for you to be here with us this evening. Our awards show continues. I'd like to introduce Jason Yaley, class of 2005 and Maxwell 2006, and the Vice President of the Alumni Association, who happens to be a former Generation Orange Award recipient. And it says here in my notes, Jason, where are you? There you go. It says here in my notes that we're not going to tell you that you have aged out of Generation Orange. So Jason, I don't want you to feel bad, because I drove up here yesterday morning and I drove straight to Collins Barbershop on the north side, if people know it, and I made a reservation at Collins the day before, and as I'm hanging up the phone, the guy said, "Are you over 60? I know, right? Oh, no offense to anyone over 60. And the worst part about it was I had to think about it for a second. I really did. I'm like, I might be. COVID has been tough on us all. Jason is the chair of the awards committee that has worked so diligently to select tonight's honorees. Please, Jason, join me on stage.
Thanks, Don. You don't look a day over 44, so we'll give you that one. I'll stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is an honor to join you. But before I announce the Eggers Award, I also want to remind you that the awardees were nominated by alumni like all of you. So please think about the incredible alumni you know and nominate them. You'll hear more about the nomination process early next year. Now, on to our awardee. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing a most deserving alumnus with the Melvin A. Eggers Senior Alumni Award. Established more than 3 decades ago by Chancellor Emeritus William P. Tully, the award was created out of his deep respect for Chancellor Eggers. It honors alumni whose leadership and service to society has been joined with loyalty and service to Syracuse University, and is presented to those alumni who have graduated more than 50 years ago from Syracuse University. Tonight's winner is Russell King, a member of the class of 1952. He was a partner and CEO of King & King Architects in Syracuse until retiring in 1993. You don't need to look far to see the work of King & King. Krause College, Byrd Library, Manley Fieldhouse, the Heroy Geology Lab. That is right, he designed Byrd Library. Most recently, he funded the new Architecture Library in Slocum Hall. In honor of his steadfast commitment to Syracuse University, I am pleased to announce Russell King for the Eggers Award. Russ, please join me on stage to accept your award.
Well, it's indeed an honor to be here, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed at the honor that I'm receiving tonight. I think I have the biggest family group here anyway. And Donnie, I think I saw every game you played in Archbald when I was in school and thereafter. I was born orange. As a matter of fact, when I was about 7 or 8 years old, I used to come to the campus every Colgate night at my dad's fraternity and watch the parade to the bonfire and so forth. I watched many football games in the old Archbald, and I remember there was a fraternity that would fire a brass cannon from the sidelines at every touchdown or a notable event. At the end of every game, they also fired the cannon, win or lose. And there was a bell on the sidelines that chimed after every game and was after every touchdown. I began my studies at Syracuse University. It was predestined, I believe, at the School of Architecture in 1947. I was an apple-cheeked youth of 18 years old. Many of my classmates were on the GI Bill, by the way, which was co-drafted by Chancellor Tully. And my classmates were older, they were serious. Some of them were married and had children. They were survivors, and some of them had been injured badly in the war. And many of them became my lifelong friends. Quonset huts, barracks, and trailers covered the campus and served as student housing and classroom buildings. My notes are stuck together. Dining halls and classrooms. I took freshman English in one of the tin barracks in the winter. We froze in the summer. It had a coal-fired stove at the front, and that's where you were warm, and anywhere else you were cold. Chancellor Tully was the guy that built Syracuse University into a first-class research university, as was his goal. And during his tenure, built a record number of buildings, many of which resulted in projects for our firm, King & King, which is older, by the way, than the university. Some of the buildings that I was involved with initially after my service in the Navy were Huntington Baird Krause building, Link Hall, the physics building, biological research, and geology building, while my dad and other partners designed Shaw, Haven, Watson, Marion, Half Day, Flint, Graham, and Sadler halls. And not to mention Del Plain and Booth, to name a few. Chancellor Tolley, it was actually a lot. Chancellor Tolley taught me a lot about leadership, as did my dad. Though my work as an architect at Syracuse because of Tolley and my dad, I learned to say what I thought. Probably a lot from my dad, as my children and grandchildren would remember. Upon graduation from Syracuse in 1952, I married my lovely sweetheart, Jiggy, whose name was Joan, but nobody that knew her well knew that. She was a 1950 graduate, so I had to wait a couple of years before we were married. Then I reported immediately after our wedding to OCS at Newport, Rhode Island, and became a brand new ensign. After a stint in Korea, ultimately Jiggy and I raised 4 children, all of whom graduated from Syracuse. We're a real orange family, and I found out from the Chancellor tonight that my son John, our middle son, although took his only 2.5 years of his work at Syracuse University, he was finished up at the Forestry College. But the Chancellor assures me he's a Syracuse grad. Many life experiences and travels have shown me that there's no place like Syracuse University and no place like Syracuse. I bleed orange. I have a great family. I think I've got the largest family group here tonight, and they're all fantastic. And I'm over time, so I'm going to say thank you and good night and good luck.
How great is that? You know, we are so lucky to have you, Russell, to just give us that history. I think especially when we're in brand new buildings like this and we see all the you know, the view. Did you see the view? If you were eating, you had the Marshall on that side, and if you turned around and you started coming back this way, you saw Pete Saller's great work in the lighting of the dome, and you just see how much change has happened here. But we're forever orange. Despite all that change, we're so grateful to have you here to remind us of the history that got us here. So thank you very much. I can listen to that all night long. It's just such an honor to be amongst people who know, and I'm always talking about knowing our DNA, who we are, and we use that word forever orange, and I am going to still be orange that you want to see in the world. You're just going to get paid a lot, that's all, because I'm going to say it a lot. It's now time to bestow Syracuse University's highest alumni honor on 4 most deserving recipients. The Arents Award is named for George Arents, a successful manufacturer who served on the university's Board of Trustees for 3 decades. A fund he endowed in 1939 allows us to recognize Syracuse University's alumni for their extraordinary achievements. The physical award was created for the university by Peter Yanowin, a member of the class of 1969. Let the presentation begin.
It was such a great time in my life. I treasure the times I was at Syracuse. In those days, you never thought about anything but Syracuse University. I had worked in the summer at various jobs so that I could pay for the courses in the fall. I was always behind payment. And I would get a call from the bursar's office saying, Dan, you've got to come up with the money to pay for the next semester. But they would always be very, very understanding. They gave me time, and I'll never forget that. We design and develop different connectors, and connectors seem like not exciting aspect of the cable TV business, but it all comes down to a connection. And if that connection is not secure, everything else doesn't work well. Started out with 12 or 14 people in a small building in Manlius, New York. From 14 people to around, I think when we sold it, we had about 1,200 worldwide.
That passion has to be there. If it's not there, then you're simply passing through. And Dan is not like that. He's very involved and pursues that passion to his beliefs.
Just a good friend, you never think about that. He and I had magnetism when we first met, and we've been good friends ever since. So that's going over 60 years. He's just a good guy.
Ralph Waldo Emerson had written, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." My wife, who's been wonderful and has been behind me in all of these adventures. Philanthropy is very, very important to us. We believe in sharing the wealth, and we believe that we have been blessed. We want to give a platform to others to have that same opportunities to exceed.
He's just a really good guy. It's nice to see that he's had so much success because he's a good person. I mean, he has been very aware that he's done very, very well and that he can share that. And I think when you look at that, it is a role model.
Whatever I can do to further Syracuse University's growth, I will do, because I just feel such a strong loyalty for what they have done for me over the years. You have to take advantage of everything that is being offered. And therefore, when you leave with a sense of accomplishment and pride, and great friends, I might add. My name is Daniel Mezzalingua. I'm a former business owner of PPC, and I am forever orange.
Dean Gene Anderson, will you please introduce your honoree?
Chancellor Severud, it is our great honor to present Dan Mezzalingua, class of 1960, for the 2021 George Arents Award for Excellence in Business and Philanthropy.
Good evening, and I would like to thank Chancellor Severud and the committee who have given me this prestigious award. I am indeed humble, as I never expected to be in such a guest company that have received this award over the years, and of course, involving the current recipients tonight. It's been 61 years since I graduated in 1960. And if it wasn't for Dean Feigl, who was the admissions director among his other duties at that time, I don't think I'd be standing here tonight. I wasn't exactly a stellar student coming out of high school when he admitted me, and my admission was with the understanding I would maintain a 3.0 average my freshman year, which I did. And in those days, if I missed class, Dean Feigl would be notified and I would be asked to visit him at his office for explanations. He also requested that I sign into the library every Saturday morning for study from 9 to 12. The culture at the university today would regard that as cruel and unusual punishment. I loved my college years here at SU. I got a great education from both the professors and my classmates. I say that because everywhere we went as students, SU took it as an opportunity to grow us in stature and confidence. Education at SU was used as a tool to develop our ability to apply what we know to our everyday life. I left SU maintaining a healthy attitude, a sense of humor, and love for life. By the way, those are the skills that did bring success in guaranteeing happiness, wellness, patience. Well, I don't know about too much of the patience, but mostly tolerance as well. Determining who we are and where our place in life lies is really not a dream, but a thorough appreciation for all that we have. What I have taken from my years at SU is that it doesn't matter how high you rise in the world's estimation, as long as you don't get above yourself. I have been truly blessed with having Kathy at my side over the last 56 years, and wonderful, industrious children who have all made a difference in this world. I learned over the years, if you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk with others. Thank you very much.
When I come back to Syracuse, I always feel like I'm coming back home. What drew me to SU was it had, for me, the unique combination of being a traditional university with beautiful quad and all the things that comes with, at least in my interpretation, going to college, but with an incredible art school. This, to me, was everything that I wanted. I spent a lot of my time in the studio. It became a passion of mine pretty early on. I fell in love with my craft.
Keith is the type of person, if he says something, you trust that it will happen. He's very much a man of his word. And I think that that's the one thing where you can look at him, he's all action, and that I really appreciate about him.
Keith is a light. He is absolutely a light. He shines brightly, and he is one of the most effervescent people I know. He's kind and generous. He's extremely creative, and he's one of the best friends you can have.
I've started an agency. We're about 2 years old. It's named Cartwright, and we built this agency on the precipice of creative audacity. Creative audacity gives you the ability to cut through and grab attention, which will force people to share and talk about and engage in your work. If you're not bringing that type of thinking to your client, you're in jeopardy of the work being dismissed, or even worse, not considered or seen or cared about. We started a nonprofit about 4 or 5 years ago called Saturday Morning. We had a unique belief that creativity can help dispel bias. So that combination of finding the right companies who want to tell a story and us using our creativity to help tell those stories, we hope can help educate the community on all the injustices that have been going on for centuries. If the work is bold, if it stands out, if it grabs attention, that's half the battle. The second half is making sure that it's convincing. To be honored by such a storied institution and my home is the greatest honor I think I've received so far in my career. Being orange to me means being a part of a unique family. I'm Keith Cartwright, CCO and founder of Cartwright, and I am forever orange.
Dean Michael Tick, will you please introduce your honoree?
Chancellor Severud, it is a great honor to present Keith Cartwright, class of 1997, for the 2021 George Arents Award for Excellence in Advertising.
Wow. Good evening. It is such an incredible honor to be here. You know, I am the son of a minister and a speech pathologist, and I think the only goal they had in life was that I wouldn't grow up to be a stuttering atheist. So thankfully, I think I'm doing okay. I want to thank the Chancellor and the board and everyone who felt like I was worthy of such an incredible honor. You know, when I came here in 1994, I remember telling my parents that I wanted to go to Syracuse. I grew up in a small town called Duncanville, Texas, which is right outside of Dallas. And I told them that I wanted to go to Syracuse University because it was an incredible university and it had an incredible art school, and I wanted both of those experiences. And my mom reminded me that I had never seen snow, that I didn't have a winter coat, and that I had never been to the East Coast. And it didn't matter. And you know, in the video, I talk a lot about audaciousness, and it's the principle of our agency. And I truly believe that spirit is what drives all creative humans and drives invention and innovation. And I try to live my life by that. So at 18 and a half years old, I packed a military bag and a comforter, and I flew to New York City, and I got on a bus from Port Authority and took that bus to Syracuse. And I showed up at Boland Hall, and I loved every minute of it. And that experience has stood with me my entire life. And it was my parents who I actually want to thank today, because at the time I decided I wanted to go to school, not to be in advertising, but to be a painter. So you know, my minister father and my teacher mother funded their young son to go to school on the East Coast to learn how to paint. Well, that turned into a career in advertising, and my spirit going into this field still stands today. You know, our industry, it's well documented that there are not enough people of color, not enough women who populate our industry. And for me, that was the challenge that I wanted to bust. And I have, since I graduated in 1997, made a conscious decision to try and be a light for those who come after me and try to be an example for those who were before me, that the color of your skin or your gender has nothing to do with your creative ability and how you think and how you see. That is a human trait. And I try to, and I always will try to, exemplify that human trait. And those traits came from Syracuse University. I remember being here and remembering those moments when I grew and learned, And that experience came from VPA, that came from my professors, Ken Hine, Bob Cooney, Paget, John Milligan. Those individuals didn't see me for the color of my skin, they saw me for my ability. And I want to thank this university for always supporting me, for always seeing me, and I want to thank them for this award today. Thank you very much.
I chose to go to Syracuse University back in 1985 after hearing a classmate in high school mention the Carrier-Dome. I was fascinated by the idea that there was a stadium that had a cover on it. And so believe it or not, the reason I went to Syracuse was because of the Carrier-Dome. My mom, who was a single mom, raised me and two younger brothers. I was first generation high school, first generation college. She was just so proud to see me achieve this milestone and to be with me along the way. My strongest memories of being at Syracuse University has to be with the Syracuse University Marching Band. And it was by far one of the best experiences of my entire life.
She's an absolutely amazing woman. And number one, she is kind, she is empathetic, extremely intelligent. She's very funny and fun-loving, just somebody that you always want to have around, and a real true leader.
I practiced law at one of the top 10 law firms in the world. I was the first Latina to be elected partner at Sidley Austin in 2001. I pursued a career in law because Professor Let Callahan told me to. I am forever grateful because it has been one of the most amazing things that I've been able to achieve.
I can't take any credit for all the magnificent things that she's accomplished and continues to accomplish, but I can certainly say that I am proud to have known her when and to have been a participant in the development of her interest in becoming an attorney.
One of the most important skills that I have developed over the course of my career is empathy. To be able to empathize with an other-sized position, you can better facilitate compromise. It's incredibly important to have a diverse and inclusive workplace, to have those different opinions, those different perspectives, those different ways of thinking about issues and helping to problem solve. Syracuse University was incredibly impactful in my life. I experienced and met with all kinds of opportunities for me to grow and develop as a person. To all of the Syracuse University students, my advice to you is you have the fortunate opportunity to go to one of the best universities in the world. Be proud of that. Being orange to me means being exceptional. I am María Meléndez, Global Chief Diversity Officer of Sidley Austin LLP, and I am forever orange.
Dean Jean Anderson, will you please introduce your honoree?
Chancellor Severud, it is our great honor to present María Meléndez, class of 1989, for the 2021 George Arents Award for Excellence in Law and Diversity Initiatives.
You ever have those moments where you're like, they're talking about you, you're like, who, me?
Wow, thank you so much, Chancellor Severud, to the Alumni Association, to my fellow honorees tonight. I am in absolute awe of being in your presence. Your accomplishments, my God, Dawn, she went to space. I'm still processing that. God bless, God bless. I want to thank my husband, Jim, who's here tonight, and also 3 very dear friends, some of whom you saw in the video, Stephanie, Jackie, and Kim. We were all together with my husband, Jim. Jim and I met freshman year, the week before class started. We had to be here for marching band. And I think he was on a trumpet player, I was a saxophone, and for those of you who follow marching band, and I'm a huge marching band geek, there was a time in the season where there was a hole. There was one of the trumpets was missing from the line, and of course you can't have a marching band with a hole in it. So they took me from my alto saxophone line and put me with the trumpets, and Jim is 6'5", I'm 5'4". So from above, you can see this line, and then a huge dip, right? And then the rest was history. We met and are now happily married for, I don't know, a lot of decades. I forgot how to count. But anyway, we were all done here in 85 through 89. And of course, we were absolute fans of yours, especially. My friends over there told me that they will not come to this event tonight unless I promised that you would take a picture with them. So thank you. I made that promise before I even asked him. So thank you. I knew you would be in favor of that. But again, thank you again. It has been it is just an absolute. I'm not kidding when I say that this is just a tremendous honor, and I am humbled by it beyond words. I also want to say that I agree with much of what has been said already by my honorees in terms of what it takes to be successful in whatever profession you choose. Everything, I want to echo that, and my clock is winding down, so I'm going to speak very, very quickly. Rather than repeating what has been said, I just wanted to share, especially for the young professionals and the students in the audience tonight, a couple of lessons that I've learned over the course of my career that I hope will resonate with you and that will be helpful to you. And the first is, do not ever let the absence of people like you in your chosen field dampen your passion and resolve to be there. Life is filled with disappointments. Suck it up, right? The next day, drown your sorrows, do whatever you need to do to collect yourself. Wake up the next day and go back at it, right? Do not let failure defeat what your intended goals are. Do not walk away from a no without asking the most important question that you could ever ask next, and that is, what do you need to see from me in order to change that no to a yes? That is an incredibly important question that I strongly urge you to think about and ask. Stand up and be visible. Do not be shy about the fact that you belong just as much as everyone else in the chosen profession in which you've adopted. Be visible in your workplace and the community. Work to raise your profile. Speak with conviction. When you are in a meeting, speak. Share your ideas, your theories, your strategies, your opinions. You know your stuff. Reach out to peers and colleagues that are different from you. They will not bite, I promise. Educate each other. Tell them your story, your goals, your aspirations. Share your journey. And then, more importantly, listen to their story, their goals, their aspirations, and their journey. I highly suspect that you will find that they have more in common with you than you think. And finally, take a deep breath and enjoy every now and again the fruits of your hard labor. And again, thank you to Syracuse University for this incredible honor. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you. Thank you.
I grew up in Delaware, and there is no film production in the state of Delaware. That doesn't exist there. And I was lucky enough to have an English teacher who suggested I go to film school when I was looking at colleges, and probably wouldn't have ended up at SU had it not been for him. It couldn't have worked out better. When I was a kid, I went to the movies a lot. I saw a movie called Jason and the Argonauts in 1964, and I was kind of spellbound in darkness watching it. I'd never seen anything like it, and it led me to start making my own little films. What brought me to SU originally was to go to the film program. I think my fondest memory is making films there with my student friends.
If we could all be more like Jim Morris, I think the world would be a better place. He's just a fantastic, decent, generous, smart, talented, funny, and just decent human being.
After I graduated, I worked at WCNY-TV, the PBS station. I'd made a documentary during school, and they had aired it, and they offered me a job thereafter. But I eventually moved out to the West Coast to try to pursue a film career. Then I spent 17 years working for George Lucas there, running Industrial Light and Magic, Skywalker Sound, and Lucasfilm Animation by the time I left.
Jim was always enthusiastic about almost every single project that we would come in with. And I think it speaks to the fact he wasn't just somebody that walked in to be an executive. He actually wanted to be in service to everything we were doing and everything we were talking about.
I came to Pixar Animation Studios. I came here to produce the film WALL-E and became president about 7 years ago. What's great about Pixar is the commitment of everyone here to trying to make the best possible films to entertain and transform audiences. It's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to be in the motion picture business at all, but being here at Pixar where we work so hard to try to make special films has just been an honor. I learned a lot about making films at Syracuse University, and many of the things I learned there I kind of go back to and use as touchstones to this day, kind of mental models for thinking about not only filmmaking, but aesthetics and story structure. There's so much that I learned at SU that I kind of use every day. I think being Orange means a lot of things. To me, it's almost a different conglomeration of experiences, ranging from the arts and sciences to the art school to the communication school. For me, all of those things blend together into what was really a phenomenal experience and really a life and career shaping experience for me. I'm Jim Morris, president of the Pixar Animation Studios, and I am forever Orange.
Professor Owen Shapiro, will you please introduce your honoree?
Well, I'm the fourth person to say the same thing as the other three. Chancellor Severud, it is our great honor to present Jim Morris, class of 1977 and graduate in 78, for the 2021 George Arents Award for Excellence in Entertainment.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Chancellor. Owen, my professor and friend these many years, and Dean Tick and Dean Lodato, and everybody involved with this award. I'm just shocked to be here among these remarkable recipients. And it is a very special and unexpected honor. I make cartoons, which is very different than flying into outer space, as it turns out. Getting ready for this event made me reflect on my time at Syracuse, of course, and how fortunate I was to be a student at the university. I came to study film at Newhouse, and as I mentioned in the little clip, that was a transformative experience. I didn't even know anybody else that made films but me when I got here. And I had a slew of great professors at Newhouse here. A few come to mind: Peter Moeller, Norm Keim, Bruce McCurdy, Ron Marquisi. And as I got to SU, VPA was starting its own film program. It wasn't even really on the books when I was applying. And that was a program that Owen Shapiro was running. So I benefited not only from the great courses I was taking at Newhouse, but the terrific courses at the art school that expanded my horizons on the aesthetic side and so forth. And in addition to Owen, I had a lot of great professors, a notable one, Larry Bakke, whose teachings I kind of think about every day now. I was an English Lit minor, but I took a lot of other courses, Russian Lit and anthropology, French. And I had great professors. One of them is here tonight, Les Friedman. Judy Weissman was another one. Terrific, that I learned a lot from. But the importance of that was, in addition to learning about the things that I was learning about filmmaking, I got ideas in those arts and sciences courses. Filmmaking knowledge is important, but it's not important if you don't have things to make films about. And so, very important aspect to me here. While I was at SU, I had the opportunity to get some practical experience in the filmmaking world. I was actually the basketball team cinematographer, and it was just as Jim Boeheim was taking the reins of the team. That was before video. I know some of you may not know there was such a time as that, but I actually had to lug a giant camera and shoot 16mm films of the team, and they would analyze those for their plays and so forth later. I was also lucky enough to get a job working at WSYR TV as a news cameraman. I worked nights and weekends to help pay my way through school. And the great thing about that was that it got me, in addition to the great community I had within the university, it got me into the Syracuse community outside of the university, and actually teed me up to make a couple of the films that I made while I was here. To cap it off, after that I had the good fortune to get a fellowship at Newhouse, which allowed me to go get my master's degree in television and radio. And my point in talking about all these experiences I had is, when I put it all together, I don't believe it would have been possible for me to have had a better university experience than I had here. It provided a myriad of converging opportunities, many different things that were formative and life-changing for me. I will confess I do not miss the winters here in Syracuse, but the time here inspired me profoundly and deeply, and really prepared me wonderfully for the professional journey I've been on since, and I couldn't be more grateful. So my deepest gratitude for this unbelievable honor today, and more importantly, to my professors, my fellow students when I was here, my friends, and to SU for setting the stage for what has been a truly fulfilling life for me. So thank you all. I get it.
Thank you, Jim, and to all of the award winners. I said this at the beginning. I'll say it again. What a humbling, and you all have kind of, you get to know me a little bit. I have something, a little quip to say about everyone and everything. And just hearing our Arents Award winners this evening, the word that Colonel Collins said is service. And I think about all the people who impacted their lives that they mentioned, their professors and deans and friends, and now they've all, whether it's cartoons that have made us all smile that we share with our children, or those who have inspired so many creative things. I saw things like, oh, I remember that. That guy did that, and that person did that. And you think about what a rich and great tradition we have here at Syracuse University. And it's my pleasure now, as this evening concludes, sitting behind me all night has been our Student Association President, David Bruin, who was the class of 2023, who's a political science major. I might have that correct. And he's sitting at that table. It looks like he's going to be signing executive orders like President Biden. And so at this moment, I'd like to bring David to the podium to share some of his reflections on being a student here at Syracuse University.
Thank you, Don. Man, I cannot believe I've followed everyone who's come up here tonight. Crazy. Genuinely, I've never been more proud to be a student and to be serving my peers as Student Association President than I am this evening. As a junior studying political science, you got it right, and policy studies, and as someone who is deeply passionate about public service, I truly believe that we are watching one of the greatest chapters in Syracuse University's history being written right now. At no other point in history, from no other college or university in this country, have alumni simultaneously served as mayor, county executive, congressman, governor, and president of the United States. Yeah. And I'm distinctly proud to highlight that New York Governor Kathy Hochul also served as vice president in the Student Association during her time here as well. It's another round of applause, yeah. And so to our cynics and rivals in the ACC, it may seem like we've peaked. But to all of us who know the power of Syracuse University, we know that once these alumni's time in office has come to pass, we as a university can and will break this achievement again. And when this time does come, it will be done by those who are students in this moment. I'm confident that as current students become alumni, this achievement and even more impressive ones will be carried out by them. It'll be done by those courageous members of our Orange family, like Jim Morris, Ernie Davis, or even Eileen Collins, who showed how to change the world beyond the big screen, beyond the football field, and beyond the stars. It's for this reason that this vision of what our future can be, that I am committed to making this university the best one I possibly can before my time here comes to a close. And so that's my commitment to you, and I hope I have the opportunity to talk with more of you this evening on how we might bring this and your ideas to fruition. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you this evening, and as always, go Orange.
Thank you, David. It's clear that the Syracuse University student body is in excellent hands under your leadership, and I have to tell you all that I've spent most of my adult career with students in a variety of capacities, and sometimes we get pretty cynical about what the future looks like. And I've had a chance this evening, one of my great privileges of this role this evening was having a chance to spend time with David one-on-one, just chatting about life and being men on campus in Syracuse University. I have to say thank you for spending time with me, and it's just a great honor for you to be a part of, a great honor to have you a part of this great evening. And I once again can say, it says it here that our student body is in great hands under your leadership, but I can say it again, heartfelt, thank you for your service to the university. Yes. As we wrap up this evening, I'd like to bring back Orange Appeal. And ask you all, please stand if you're able, as we sing the Syracuse University alma mater together. And we're going to see if you know the words. Carla.
Sky,
How about another round of applause for Orange Appeal? Before our evening comes to a close, please join me in a final round of applause for all of tonight's award recipients, our Generation Orange, Eggers, military veterans, and Arents Award winners. And again, Chancellor Severud, Dr. Chen, always faithfully serving and being at our side. We always love to see you. Thank you for your extraordinary visionary leadership, especially in these past few years of navigating this university through a pandemic and enabling us to be together safely this evening. For those joining us, we will continue the celebration with desserts, drinks, and I hear there's a special drink, right? Corey, how about a round of applause for Corey Miller, who's done so much. There will be desserts, drinks, and Corey has a special drink served that she's going to serve, or she concocted. That's right, okay. And plenty of Orange Pride right outside in the main lobby, Grand Hall, and Canteen. Thank you again for being with us this evening. Thank you again for Mike Haney for hosting us. Eileen Collins, oh my God. Have a great night. Good night. Go Orange.